Well, welcome in to this episode of the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. We're going to be talking about Sean Payton's description of this first team being average to below average. We're going to rapid fire the worry meter on the offense, the defense, the special teams, maybe your choice as well. And then we're going to move on to Arizona. We're going to look at maybe a few players that need to show out, step up in this upcoming preseason game for the Denver Broncos. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into all that, plus all your comments, all your thoughts, all your questions. Oh, let's get it started right about now. Welcome everybody into the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. My name is Keith Brugman. It's going to be two guys riding on a Tuesday night, man. A couple of horsemen out there on the prairies, I guess. Kenny, it's Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick next to me. Kenny, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, Keith. Glad to be here. Tuesday, first show we're having after the Broncos game on Saturday. After your little post game, I take that back. You had a little post game on Saturday, which was awesome. This is the first official Denver Bronco Roundup since Saturday. We got some good, some bad, some ugly maybe to talk about, and we'll get it going.
We'll get it going is right. Yeah, we had the reaction show, but that's just it. That's the reaction. You know, you're in the thick of it. You're right after the final play has gone dead, and the whistles have all been blown, and the players have ran off the field, and you're just left there with your initial thoughts. And then you get to go back and maybe take a look a little bit, put your head around it a little bit, give it some time to simmer. Like I said, we're going to bring in a worry meter here in just a little bit. But the first topic that I want to get out in everyone's heads is really what Sean Payton came out and said right after the game. Sean Payton has been a pretty big, cheerleader for this team and what he thinks it's capable of doing. Whether it be Bo Nix or whether it be, possible Super Bowl, but we're looking at division champion right now, or AFC West division championships, and then we'll just keep going from there. But he's already talking Super Bowl spilling out of his mouth. When he was asked about this first team and their efforts and what he saw from them out there on Saturday, he said average, below average. And that was his description of this first team offense, first team defense. That was his initial reaction. He's obviously got time to maybe let's simmer and maybe change his mind on that a little bit. But Kenny, I'm not going to go with your initial reaction. I'm going to go with what you are thinking right now. What do you think about Sean Payton's comments, and does it still ring true?
I love it because he's right. And you want to fire your team up, tell them they played bad. Tell them, point out the bad. And it was, first series was bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was bad. Mac Jones led that San Francisco offense to a touchdown. Bo Nix offense, first series, they did nothing. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I love what Sean Payton did. Do you want the worry meter, or are we going to hold off on the worry meter for now?
We'll just give you we'll hold off on that. Just really okay. the reaction of average to below average. Does that still ring true? And is Sean, I think you answered part of it right there. You love what Sean Payton's doing, man. He's rallying the troops a little bit.
Rallying the troops, fire them up, and that's what your coach needs to do. And let's see what happens on Saturday. If it comes out same lackluster first series, then maybe the worry meter starts a little bit. But I do want to say a couple hellos, Keith, if you don't mind, before we continue, because I'm your co-host tonight. I'll help you out a little bit. I know you got a lot.
I appreciate it. Absolutely.
Michael Ronquillo throwing some stars, saying good evening, Keith, Kenny, and Go Broncos. 100 stars. Thank you, Michael. And then at the beginning of the show, we had our good friend Ernie say hello and Miss Pearl say hello. Go Broncos country from Ernie and hi all from Miss Pearl. Good to see you. Paul saying hello, Paul Schaefer. And then we got Kurt Valenti. You can throw his Graham saying hello, and you can throw Kurt's comment up there, Keith, if you want, and then we'll continue.
I see Kurt's rambling. I know, yeah. Love the jersey, Keith. I love it too, buddy. Don't wear it all that often, but I'm rocking it tonight, man. Got to represent a little bit, and PS2 is a good one to do it with. So I do want to just recognize Michael, man. He's just been on this star run. I can't remember the last time that Michael hasn't dropped stars on our podcast. He is like, I don't know, a gold jacket wearing, supporter of this show. You know what I mean? If we get handed out gold jackets, I think he's well on his way at this point. So, Michael, we appreciate you a ton. Kurt Valente, I'll let you read this one, man. You could probably read it better than I.
There's no good, no bad. It's preseason. I agree with that part. Means absolutely nothing. I disagree with that part. You don't show anything scheme-wise. Agree. This team is absolutely loaded. Agree. Go through motions next 2 weeks. See everybody week 1 versus Tennessee. Preseason means nothing. Where preseason means something, Kurt, is for the players that are trying to get a job. I agree where it means nothing to a point. That means nothing towards standings, Keith. It means nothing towards there. But some of these players, it means everything for. So, but I get what you're saying, Kurt, in your comments there. It means nothing towards the standings. You're not showing anything. I agree with that. We talked today, and I agree with that part, Kurt. I do.
All right. I might have more to say about that, and this might be the perfect time. I did a terrible job, and I didn't label my slides, so this is going to be really interesting, Kenny. Maybe we'll actually talk about the ones that come up, but I'm going to say this. I think it's much more important. You just saw your first team defense go out there, and Mac Jones walked down the field on him. And I don't want to hear about scheme. Mac Jones and the San Francisco 49ers walked down the field on this Denver Broncos first team defense. We'll get into the first team offense. We could even talk about even a little bit of special teams woes. So that being said, man, I'm going to throw up the first slide, and I don't even know which one it is. It could be your choice for all I know, Kenny. So get ready. Okay?
Yep.
You ready?
We're going to devil's advocate at you real quick.
Okay. Oh, no, go. Throw your devil. I want to hear it right now. I want to hear it right now.
Your starting linebacker did not play, Dre Greenlaw. So everybody wasn't in there. That's the argument I'll throw out.
Okay.
And Jaquan McMillan was the guy that was thrown on for that deep pass. It wasn't Riley Moss or Surtain. It was the guy fighting for a spot on the roster.
Well, maybe
I'll just make those 2 points.
Thank goodness he's fighting for a spot, because he also got that interception.
Yeah,
that maybe
he did.
Stopped another drive. All right, what do we got? Oh, it's the your choice, Kenny.
Meter, my choice.
Yeah, where is your worry the most? If you're going to go ahead and your choice, anything, any player, any coach, any position group, any offense, where are you at? Where is your worry?
I like this, and my worry, Keith, is a weird one. But Kurt, don't go screaming when you hear this. It's the rookie class. Nobody stood out at all in this game from the rookies. RJ Harvey was okay. Jade Barron, okay. Caleb Lohner, nowhere to be found. Savion Jones, nothing. Q Robinson got blown off the ball. He looked bad to me, and he's on my worry meter for sure in other positions. But the whole rookie class, a little worried. They better show up against Arizona, because right now nobody stood out of the rookies. And even Crawshaw, 3 punts, averaged 37 a punt. So not a good showing for the rookie class so far in week 1.
Okay, that makes perfectly good sense. Perfectly good sense. Like Phil McLaughlin coming in here, he's supporting our show too. I got to read this comment. He says, "Good evening, Keith and Kenny. I'm not concerned. Period. It's preseason. They played great in practice. I think Payton is building up the running back trade value. He dropping 200 stars while he brings this comment. That's why I had to bring it to the forefront, Kenny. It is amazing. We have Kurt in there. He's not worried about preseason. Phil's not worried about preseason. This is where I'm going to land. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my choice rapid fire on the worry meter and say this. I'm kind of worried about Bo Nix. He has everything through camp for the most part has been that, boy, this defense is looking good. And that's the reason you're not seeing Bo Nix go off. He has maybe one good practice against the San Francisco 49ers, does not have a good game versus the 49ers on Saturday. And then if you out there and you're reading everything, everybody follows it up today with a bad day in practice against this elite defense. The elite defense that gave up 7 points pretty easy to Mac Jones, mind you. I'm just saying, this is not really where I want to be at this point. And this is where I'm going to flip the script as far as what preseason matters and doesn't matter. At some point, this offense better get on schedule, better start clicking, better look like they can move the ball a little bit. Because the first team offense, I don't think I've heard about that happening a bunch all throughout these OTAs and practices and now games. It's time to start clicking. Bo Nix is getting raising up there on my worry meter, and I know that's not going to make me the most favorite person out there probably of everybody listening. I'm sorry.
Keith, I see a couple people in the comments that we can say
Yes.
hello to. New name, you might know. I don't know the name. I want to say hello to Jose Ruiz, rather, saying, I like those Bronco jerseys. They're awesome. Let's go Broncos, all the way from California. Hopefully the Broncos win the Super Bowl. Welcome, Jose, and welcome to the show. Glad you could be part of the Denver Bronco Roundup posse. Our good friend Royce saying hello in his comments. Hey there, Keith and Kenny. And a couple more was Travis Johnson throwing the comment out there. Sean is feeling the pressure no matter how much he tries to flatter ownership. And so good, a lot of hellos coming in, and we appreciate it. And keep comments coming in. Posse will or questions. Your worry meter. We want to know who you're worried about. So let's keep it going.
I want to just hit this one really quick because if Michael's just going to pick one out, it's the offensive line for him, which has good reason. It did not look good. The guard play did not look good. The combination blocking that didn't happen or was blowing up at times, not necessarily good. Rodney Garcia coming in saying, "Good evening, gentlemen. Go Broncos" as well. All right, let me load another mystery slide, I guess, Kenny.
Sure.
We'll find out what it is.
I like the mystery. I like it.
I like the unplanned mystery. What happens when you accidentally don't do this? All right, so mystery slide is loading. We'll get that up here in just a second, and you'll have to get your reaction, man. How worried, Kenny, are you worried about the special teams? You talked about your buddy Crawshaw just a moment ago, man.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna point out, three punts, long of 50 was good, average 37. Worry meter right in the middle there with the orange color, maybe, Keith, maybe a little bit more towards the yellow. They didn't use Sherfield back there on kick returns, so we didn't see Sherfield. We didn't see a lot of the special teams that we wanted to see. So there's really not much worry there for me. I'd say more in the yellow color there on that meter.
Yeah, I'll go up a little bit higher. I just because I go back to the kick return, I think it was a huge kick return for the San Francisco 49ers. Went up the left side. It was early in the first quarter where we end up punting out the ball. So you start adding these things up. These are guys that, when you talk about special teams, are really trying to make the team. This is a place where you really want to see the physicality really play out and the attention to detail and everything kind of work in your favor, especially on a on a kick return when you're, defending that, you're going down, you're tackling. That's what I was really hoping for, and I didn't see a whole lot of that. You add that up with Crawshaw. I'll go right there in the orange with you. I'm not going to get too worried about the special teams, and I'm not going to blow it up. But Crawshaw not having some good practices down in San Francisco, and then goes into the game that wasn't really booming it out like we had kind of hoped. Kenny, the big leg Crawshaw. Lutz. Thank goodness, Lutz is who he is, and that's where your meter is getting in your favor. So awesome, man. Got Clayton coming in saying, hey guys, smash that like and share, guys. And he just get a place where he can record and send that to us so we can get it all plugged in here real quick.
And real quick, keep up the great work, guys. Denver Broncos for life, baby. 10 stars from Clayton. Thank you, Clayton, for the stars. Appreciate you. As always, my friend. He supports all the shows, and we love all of you guys. Rodney Garcia is also saying hello on YouTube, Keith. He says,
yeah,
I'm
go
in the
ahead,
yellow.
read it, buddy.
I'm in the yellow for special teams and Crawshaw. I think he was nervous in the game, but during the pregame in camp, he was booming kicks. And that's it. I think he nailed it there. Keith, first game, little jitters. I think he'll be perfectly fine. That's why there's no competition for him in camp.
By the way, everybody, I meant to mention it a little bit earlier. Still battling a little bit of a cold. Been running my butt off. We're going to run this out till we get through everything. If there's comments coming in, if there's questions coming in, we'll obviously keep rolling. But we might go a half hour, 45 minutes on this show, wrap it up, call it a great Tuesday night, and be back on Friday with y'all as well. At that point, we're going to be pre-gaming this Arizona Cardinals. But first, man, like I said, more and more and more surprises here. As soon as I could load this properly, I'm gonna load up a surprise one once again. You ready, Kenny?
Let's do it.
All right, buddy. Here it comes. Sorry about that. I was a little bit behind because I wanted to get everybody up to date on what we're doing. By the way, Pearl's coming in. She was yellow on the special teams as well. All right, buddy. Here it comes. Well, I already talked a little bit, man. I don't want to make everybody mad right after. I think they might be cooling down once again. So maybe you should take over the worry meter on the offense first, bud.
Worry meter on the offense is going to be more in the orange range for me, Keith. And I'm not worried about Bo Nix. I'm not worried about the offensive line yet. It's 1 week preseason, like a lot of people are saying, Phil and Kurt, and I agree there. It's 1 week preseason. You're getting the kinks out. Last year, Bo Nix got off to a slow start. So you know what? Let him get off to a slow start in preseason. Week 1, he'll be ready for week 1. Where I am worried a little bit on the offense is still the tight end room. Evan Ingram didn't play, and I'm glad he didn't play because he is fragile. But no one, and I mean no one on this Bronco team is stepping up to be the number 2 guy, in my opinion. So I am worried there. Behind Evan Ingram, what do we have at tight end, everyone? And that's where my worry meter, it would be in the green to yellow range if it wasn't for the tight end room. Running backs, maybe a little bit. I like what I saw out of some of the running backs. Some of the running backs need to step up a little more, maybe the run blocking. But it would be in the green-yellow range if it wasn't for the tight end room. Tight end room's bumping it up to the orange color.
What if I told you, Kenny, that I know that you were trying to watch while at work, but Evan Ingram was out there?
He was. Okay. I didn't know that. See, I was at work.
Well, this is why you wouldn't have known, because I don't even think he was targeted once, Kenny. Not one target in this game. So, I mean, he was out there showing how he doesn't know how to block and not catching passes.
Right.
And that's why, for me, I haven't seen Evan Ingram. Cortland Sutton had like 1 catch, I think. 2 catches. I mean, there was just like Troy Franklin stole the show. Trent Sherfield stole the show, if you really want to talk about this game. But as far as first team, Troy Franklin had to steal the show in this particular one. And we didn't see a run game really come into round. We didn't see the offensive line come into round. There was nothing. If you're going to just look at this game and start trying to gauge worry meter, you got to have a little bit of concern here. And I've already talked about it, man. I think it's an ongoing epidemic. It's not just knocking off the rust. They had another bad day in practice today. They better start stepping up, man. I'm in that darker orange, I guess you could say. I'm not going to push the panic meter yet, but man, I really got to get. I really got to see this offense start coming into play, man. No Marvin Mims in this game. It was there. RJ Harvey did pretty good. He bounced out a 12-yard run. That was not a design play, a bounced out play for 12-yard run. So you can't really say that was all on the offensive line. So I guess RJ Harvey gets a few flowers as well. But I mean, it was rough to watch that first team out there. It's got to start coming around, buddy. It's got to start coming around.
I appreciate you correcting me and telling me Evan Ingram played, because I have to call out the 49ers announcers, which I got stuck listening to here in Maryland. It was the 49ers broadcast. And if they threw the ball to a tight end, incomplete to the tight end on the Broncos. Like, they don't give you a name, and you're trying to look down to see who it was. And, I definitely didn't see that Evan Ingram was in there. But throughout the whole game, they weren't even – it was so hard to listen to. I think I mentioned in our chat a few times throughout the game that these guys are terrible. I don't know who they're talking about. If the Broncos get a sack, they don't tell you who it is, et cetera, et cetera. It was just really hard to listen to. And, maybe if they're out there listening, maybe they'll shout out some names, whoever they're playing this week.
Yeah, no kidding. Give us a little love. Well, the nice thing is we'll be at home. We'll be at home this one. Arizona's coming to Denver, so we should have some good announcing for our Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Talking about good friend right here, my good friend Jeremy Dressmer saying, "Sup, fellas?" I have to agree with Kenny though. The panic meter in the orange. It is preseason. Ernie Mays pointing out that 30 unanswered points that they went on after that. Very well said. Obviously the second, third teams, they really started to pour it on, and Stidham had probably one of his better performances on tape that he could ever put out there, bar none. I mean, I know it's a preseason game, but you take what you can take. Rodney Garcia, he was concerned about left guard Powers, and Nick Gargiulo looked awesome out there. He said, and this was a good one, when Priestcorn got that touchdown, man, I had almost you talked about tight ends that necessarily didn't show out and show up, but Priestcorn got a touchdown on the offense, and I almost forgot about that name, and I still remember when it hit our chat, and I can't remember who brought it up. Maybe it was the Ronk, maybe it was Phil, maybe it was Pearl. Pearl's always looking at sometimes these deep dive players, and Priestcorn, and you're like, who's Priestcorn? He was just signed to our roster, and we're like, okay, we'll see about this guy, and next thing you know, he's catching a touchdown pass in the game. So you never know. Even Sean Payton says, it's not where you're drafted, it's what you do once you get here. So Kenny, I'll bring up the slide, but I think we all know, unless you have more on the offense, or did I give my offense? I gave all my offense. Yeah, I gave all my offense. So now we're going to be flipping over to the defense at this point, man. And so I'll go ahead and I'll get it loaded up, but you can go ahead and start talking whenever you like, buddy.
I liked, you pointed out, gave up a touchdown in our first drive, but I'm not worried about this defense. Nick Bonito shined. I know he had a sack in this game. Jaquan McMillan bounced right back on the second series and picked off Mac Jones. They tried to go to him again on that play, and he stepped up and made an adjustment. Dre Greenlaw did not play. I'm not worried about this defense at all. I think when it's all said and done, this is going to be a top 5 defense with a chance to be the best defense in the league. This worry meter's in the green for me. Not even border in the yellow yet. It's in the green. I'm not worried. Key is, and I think Kurt said it earlier, get out of preseason without any major injuries. That's key. I'm not worried at all going into Arizona week 2 and into the season right now with this defense. It's in the green for me.
Very good, man. I'll do the same thing, man. Really, when you come right down to it, the guys looked pretty decent. They got marched on early, but that was one blown coverage. You could say that there was 2 people really out of position on that one. Jaquan McMillan and then Riley Moss kind of had the other side of that. Hufanga ends up pulling him down for the big 50-yard gain. And then, anything can happen once you get close to the goal line. Wish they would have stepped up, stiffened up. They didn't. That's the only touchdown they give up. Defense, Nick Bonito, I heard it today on a podcast I was listening to. At some point, you got to start thinking about when you pay this man. Because if he just keeps doing stuff like this, like putting up, I think he put up a sack and a half in this game. You just can't deny him. You know what I mean? Forever. The defense is looking good. They'll have to tighten up some, and you'll see what Dre Greenlaw looks like. I really liked what Lavelle Bailey put out there as well. I thought he looked pretty good out there, commanding that defense and the interior. Dan is flipping us back, though, man. I'll go ahead and I'm going to drop this out. We can talk about anything on the worry meter. I might run through a few more comments. But he says, let's talk about wide receiver Trent Sherfield and that 36-yard touchdown catch, tiptoe, drag swag. Oh, yeah. Kenny, Trent Sherfield, we had written off as a special teamer. And this is a great special team guy. He'll come in there. Maybe he'll free up Marvin Mims, from a lot of returning duties. Trent Sherfield wasn't back there returning anything. Trent Sherfield was out there playing the wide receiver and catching it touchdown passes and being, quite honestly, one of the better looking prospects that we put out there on the offensive side this last Saturday. What are your thoughts on Trent Sherfield, his toe drag swag?
That was pretty special against his former team, the 49ers. So that had to be very special for him there. We've all said it, Keith. After Cortland Sutton, is there a clear number 2 on this team? Now, Trent Sherfield, I don't think is there yet, but he might be your number 4 wide receiver if some of these other guys don't step up. And there's a couple on my list that need to step up. Sherfield can leapfrog them and maybe get some plays on some 4 and 5 wide sets. Why not go Trent Sherfield and have an extra weapon in there on those extra, like I said, the 4 and 5 wide sets? Absolutely. With that, he showed he can, with that catch and toe drag, he showed he's capable of being in a lineup.
Very good, man. Another new name. I don't know if Jordan's been in here. Jordan, welcome in. And Kenny, I might have you read this comment if you don't mind.
Sure. Jordan, welcome. Jordan's on YouTube. He's saying about 50% of what I needed to see was Bo Nix looking good. So I'm worried until I see he's taken another step forward. So he's on page with you, Keith, which you mentioned earlier. Jordan, Keith had mentioned earlier he was a little worried about Bo Nix. If you're just tuning in now, a little earlier in the show, Keith was a little worried about Bo Nix. I'm not there yet. One preseason game. Let's see how he's doing in practice and training camp. If he's struggling this week in practice, maybe you start worrying because it's a joint practice. But, preseason, I'm not too worried. I don't think you're going to see too much of Bo Nix. And I don't think Sean Payton's going to open up the playbook with Bo Nix in there in preseason.
Horseman coming in, Mr. Trevor Salzman. He says, what's up, boys? The offense struggles from the starters is a reality. On a positive note, though, we still have time to turn it around. So me and Trevor, we have been a little bit more lockstep on some of these ideas and where we want this team to be and how they're going. And once again, we're kind of in that same path, I guess you could say. I just want to see it start to click, buddy. I think they'll get their run Tuesday and have an opportunity to go out there and get it running. After that, we all know that third preseason game is pretty much a shutdown game for anything as far as the starters are concerned. And we roll right into the regular season after that, folks. It's going to be interesting. This is going to be a big, big game this Saturday. It'll tell us a lot. I think it'll tell us a lot. Kenny, my slides are done. Now we'll just get into your amazing topics because I always love what you bring to the table. We'll roll through that as well.
Sure.
Go ahead and take it away, buddy.
Real quick, because I know we're up on the halftime, Keith. So if you want to talk about Morgan Trinkets real quick, but real quick, I want to give a congratulations. We should have said this about Nick Bonito being named number 38 on the top 100 list. So applause for Nick Bonito, number 38. A top NFL players voted him number 38. So that's a very high number and well-deserving number. I will say that. So Yeah, I'll pass it back to you, Keith, and then I know we got a quick second half, a couple players we want to talk about that need to step up.
All right, buddy. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, first, I just want to say Nick Bonito being recognized, Denver Broncos being recognized in that top 100. It's what I love to see. You know, it's seems like it was too long that we were unrecognized. So, congratulations to Nick Bonito. Hopefully, it continues to ascend. Like I said, I think there's going to be a pay the man type of moment coming pretty dang soon for one Nick Bonito. But right now, I want you all to think about Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, and Estate Gold at wholesale prices. Is that something that interests you? Man, I've got the company for you. Morgan Trinkets has been doing just that for over 34 years. They were once a nationwide company. Now they're just in your backyard, Northern Colorado, Southern Wyoming. They're knocking out shows left and right. They were at Cheyenne Frontier Days. They're at the Greeley Dog Show this weekend, Friday through Sunday. They're going to be all set up there. You're not going to make it to Greeley, but you really want to get some Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at wholesale prices before this weekend. Don't worry. I got you all taken care of. Head on over to Morgan Trinkets on Etsy by typing in Morgan Trinkets Co. That's Morgan Trinkets Co. And there you are. You have everything that Pearl has to offer, including silver, sterling silver, 100% sterling silver. All major credit cards are accepted. All orders over $50 are shipped absolutely free. But like I said, if you're in that Greeley area or if you're just hanging out, Northern Colorado, Southern Wyoming, there's something happening at the fairgrounds, I almost guarantee the Pearl's going to be hanging out there. Search out, find Morgan Trinkets. I guarantee you'll love it. You'll appreciate everything that you've got. And I've never heard a bad review about Morgan Trinkets. Well, they've been around for 34 years. It makes sense. They know what they're doing. Kenny, we'll have to find some Denver Broncos that'll need maybe need to know what they're doing out there a little bit better. We want to go through a list of 3 Broncos players, right? That need to step up. So I'll let you take that away, buddy.
I got a good one. Again, chat, play along. Who do you think needs to step up? Offense, defense, could be a coach, whoever you want to throw out there. You'll see where we're going. I got a number one guy, Keith, and we just mentioned how good Trent Sherfield's been. Troy Franklin has stepped up. You got Pat Bryant, your rookie wide receiver. Well, who did I leave out? Not Marvin Mims, not Cortland Sutton. Devon Vele needs to step up. He may fall down the pecking order if Trent Sherfield continues to play well in preseason. Pat Bryant did decent. Of course, Mims and Sutton are ahead of him. And Troy Franklin has stepped up big time, in my opinion, through training camp practices. And he had a nice catch in a couple catches in week 1 preseason. Devon Vele, 1 catch, 6 yards. Ain't going to cut it. You need to step up week 2, Devon Vele, because you're going to fall down the pecking order if these other guys are stepping up. So Devon Vele is my number one guy to step up, Keith, this week.
Number one guy to step up this week, Mr. Devon Vele. Back-to-back votes, though. Dan comes in. I think Riley Moss needs to step up. Rodney Garcia. Moss needs to step up. So, I mean, a couple of votes for Riley Moss out there already as well, looking for him to maybe show a little bit more versus the Arizona Cardinals. If we're going not 3-2-1, going 1-2-3, if you're saying Devon Vele is your one, I don't know if we're ranking these guys. I'm just going to go to the very top of my list then. I'm just going to say Bo Nix. I can't have him throwing short to Cortland Sutton. I can't have him throwing short to Troy Franklin. I can't have him not recognizing the coverage and the open wide receiver running across the middle and pirouette and then take a sack by throwing the ball not back to the line of scrimmage and nowhere near a receiver, resulting in a safety and 2 points and possession of the ball. I mean, you want to hear something that makes Sean Payton mad? Points and possession of the ball all in one fell swoop? Not a good thing, man. This, for me, Bo Nix. Bo Nix, I want to see show out versus the Arizona Cardinals. Number one.
Love it. You want my number 2?
Yes, by all means.
My number 2 is going to be on the offensive side of the ball as well. I'm going to go Jaleel McLaughlin. I've been tough on him all preseason, all training camp, all up in training camp, practices, preseason. I've been tough on him. He had one nice run, got called back from a holding, but that's the reason why the run was there, in my opinion. It was a clear hold. He had 3 runs for 5 yards and 1 catch for 5 yards. You got a crowded running back room. We know RJ Harvey's not going anywhere. You brought J.K. Dobbins in to be maybe the starter going forward, week 1. Tyler Bidet and Blake Watson stepped up a little bit. And Jaleel McLaughlin's job, in my opinion, is not safe if he continues to have these performances, these next 2 preseason games. Mm-hmm. Tyler Bidet or Blake Watson may take that spot from him. Jaleel McLaughlin, in my opinion, needs to step up and step up in a big way. You also have Audric Estime back there as well, in a different pace back. So it's a crowded running back room. I think Jaleel McLaughlin needs to step up big time.
I think that's fair, man. I seriously contemplated him on this list, and he might still make it. I only named my number 1. So who knows? Maybe he still makes it by number 3, but I think you're absolutely right, buddy. I think you're absolutely right. Phil McLaughlin comes in and says, okay, guys. Oh, maybe I'll have you read this one.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Okay, guys, according to the tweets and chatter, it's pretty clear that Jarrett Stidham is starting quarterback. Bidet, Watson, 1 and 2 running backs. Sheffield Franklin, 2 and 3 wide receivers. That should do it.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. With a laugh out loud, right? Because that's how it's going to be done. Stidham's going to be our quarterback, according to the tweets out there. Yeah. Bidet is going to be our running back. Watson's, yeah. If you and Phil dropping more stars when he's doing this, I feel you're cracking me up, buddy. You're absolutely right, man. If you just go out there and you listen to the chatter and you just look at, this as our finished complete product as preseason game 1, this is not what this team is going to look like come the first game of the season, and certainly through 17 games, right? We're getting a very watered down version where a lot of backups are playing, and, it's not real football yet. And it's, you can't get too hyped up about some of the things. The things that just concern me is the things that aren't happening, the things that I don't see. And this is where I'm going to go to my number 2, Kenny. I don't see Evan Ingram yet. And until I see Evan Ingram, I'm going to be a little bit concerned. I got to see him haul in a pass. I got to see at least 1 throw to Evan Ingram. Until then, I'm concerned, Kenny. I know that he comes with all the accolades and he's the Joker and all this other stuff. He's also somewhat injured and he's a blocking liability at this point. So until I start seeing him making some plays and hauling in some catches, I'm going to have a little bit of concern. I want to see that, Kenny. Maybe it's just because I'm so dang worried about what this tight end position group has been for too many years. Till then, I'm worried, Kenny. I got to see him show out down in Arizona or in Denver as we welcome Arizona. I'm sorry. So that's my number 2.
I like it. I think that's a good pick, Keith, and rightfully so. I think he's coming with a lot of hype, and what made him a joker? Like, has he been the top tight end in the league? No, he's been a top 10 tight end. Does that make him a joker? No, he needs to step up and not be and hopefully an overrated tight end this year. And I think he'll be fine as long as you could keep him on the field. I think he'll be fine and learn this offense. I think, but I could see the worriness though. It makes sense, but I think he'll be fine. I do want to say hello. I think we got a couple. Our good friend Mark Calderio saying hello, and I think we got another new name on YouTube, Mr. Dylan Lippard, saying you all aren't beating us, you Denver ponies. So he's trolling. Be nice. Be nice. Who are you, a Cardinal fan, or let us know what fan you are, and then our posse can, in friendly debate, chatter, can come back at you. But you can't say that if you don't tell us what team you are. So.
Well, we're just going to assume. But either way, honestly, Dylan, if it's the Arizona Cardinals, I'm not going to worry about the wins. I want to see what the performance of my team looks like. I bet you're the exact same way.
And you
want to go out there and you want to. Yeah, no, you would just want to go out there and you want to see your team perform, right? Now, I'll tell you what. I think the Denver Broncos on any given Sunday, I might start talking a little bit of smack with you, Dylan. I think we got a good team, and I think that the Arizona Cardinals, as long as they've been trying to put it together, they are still trying to get the pieces and parts just right. I think we still have a better chance against you if that happens to be the case. Kenny, let's hit your number 3, man. Let's hit your number 3 player that needs to step up, show out versus the Cardinals.
And maybe this is me looking at my phone at a certain time when he was in the game. Maybe he looked better, but this is just me being maybe a little critical on a rookie. Q Robinson, and I don't have it in front of me. I watched him play. He was lined up against number 76 on the 49ers, opposite of 76. And the lineman for the 49ers was blowing him off the ball the 3 plays I saw. And then he got taken out of the game. So it's a short one for me. But if Q Robinson wants to be considered a defensive player on the Broncos, you're going to need to step up. Otherwise, you're just going to be a special teamer that people say that you're a great special teamer. You're going to have to step up to be a great special teamer. You know, you're in the NFL. It's a different level of play. But on the defense, I need to see a lot more from you. So I'm going to be a little hard on a rookie for him to step up big time, Q Robinson.
Yeah. From everything we heard, especially through training camp and the type of player he was, to not really show out or show up in any particular way versus that 49ers team. I get it, especially if you're getting pushed around. I'll be honest, I didn't have my eye on Q Robinson like you may have, but I agree with where you're going at, man. I agree with where you're going at. I'm going to go one last direction, but it's going to be almost the same direction you went a little bit earlier, Kenny. I don't care if it's Jaleel McLaughlin, Tyler Bidet, Audric Estime, Blake Watson. I'm assuming that J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey are going to be locks on this roster. And beyond that, I don't know who else. I want someone to show out and show that they should be the RB3 and maybe can be the answer long term, because let's face it, J.K. Dobbins has probably not been brought in here for the next 5 to 6 years, folks. He'd be lucky if he gets 2. R.J. Harvey is the future. Who else is going to be there with him? I want to see somebody. We brought these guys in. Let's have one of those guys show out, because if we get a running game that's thunder and lightning, Kenny, of some sort, just to bring back some memories of your own, then this offense can be something quite honest and quite simply. That's where I'm going at number 3.
I like it. I got a bonus one, Keith. It's a bonus because it's the tight ends behind Evan Ingram, Lucas Krull, and Caleb Lohner. Better watch out. They better step up, because Prescorn has got a chance of making this team if he continues to do what he does in these 2 preseason games. It's not set in stone for that number 3 tight end spot. I didn't see Caleb Lohner, and Lucas Krull had 1 catch, and I was like, oh yeah, he's still on the team. But Prescorn had that touchdown, so watch out, Lucas Krull, and watch out Caleb Lohner. Caleb Lohner might be okay because he's a rookie. But Lucas Krull definitely needs to watch out, or these 2 rookies may take those spots from him.
Peter Johnson is coming in here sounding just like the judge. If I didn't know that Peter Johnson was a fantastic posse member of ours that rides with us on many a nights, I would swear this is the judge. He comes in, he says, R.J. Harvey needs to step up and trust his linemen to develop lanes for him. Stop just trying to get it outside for the big one. I think it was all throughout our private chat as we were watching the games all over the country, or watching the game all over the country. And the judge, Jody Moncrief, just kept coming in and says, man, R.J. Harvey bounces it one more time. If he jump it, all he does is bounce that every single run. Pearl's coming in and saying Kroll looked good. Kroll did get the touchdown, but I'll say what, if I had to put a touchdown, Kroll's touchdown and the amazing catch he had to make versus Prescorn's touchdown and what he did in order to get into the end zone and get a touchdown. I'm just saying, one of these things is not like the other. Simple as that. So, Kenny, there has been votes all over the place for lots of different guys that need to step up. I heard Barron didn't miss a tackle last year or two. Jeremy Crawshaw needs to step up, according to Michael Ronquillo.
I saw Frank Crum earlier. I wanted to point that out.
Jonathan Cooper, according to Rodney Garcia. And I will say, Jonathan Cooper, I love Agent Zero, but we didn't talk about Jonathan Cooper much on the other side. Nick Benito showing out, and Jonathan Cooper had a fairly quiet night. Even Justin Sternad coming from that safety position, getting in the backfield and disrupting things, I thought had a fairly good evening or fairly good day on the football field. I'll get a few more comments. Broncos special teams coordinator Darren Rizzi handpicked punter Jeremy Crawshaw. He will take the fall if punter Crawshaw does not work out, in Michael Ronquillo's opinion. And yes, Harvey had a run or two in which he could have gotten 5 to 6 versus 2 to 3, says Paul Schaefer. He also bounced that one and took it for 12 in a first down run on a first down run on the first play from scrimmage there. So, I mean, not in that series, not of the game, guys. So don't go looking at the first game of the series or the first play of the series of the game. Just more comments. I think McLaughlin is a lock. Payton gives him podium time to players. They are not making if he doesn't give them players podium time, they're not making the team. Estime is out. Bidet, Watson are getting play time and building trade value. So he's all racking it up to who the Denver Broncos are going to shove out there in front of the media sometimes too.
There was a quick. I'm sorry, Keith. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's a great way to look at the tea leaves sometimes.
A question earlier that I saved up here. It's a quick one. Dan asked earlier, do any of Denver's running backs play on special teams, Keith?
So, yeah, obviously when you look at Watson is a big special teamer, I believe. Bidet is out there. Estime does get out there. I don't think McLaughlin gets out there on special teams. And that's one of the downsides to McLaughlin at this point and why some people are maybe bringing him down that ranking list. I will say, at some point, as much as I have heard even Sean reference how they had to put McLaughlin on the 53-man roster last year. If not, they were going to lose him. They're showcasing him a little bit. He's still talking pretty well about him. Could you pick up a late round draft pick for a Jaleel McLaughlin because you're all built up and you're going to have to get rid of somebody? That might be an opportunity. Picking up and I'm not talking about much. You're probably not getting much beyond a 6th round pick. I'd be surprised if you got a 5th round pick, just because of the production that you see from him and stuff like that. But that's always an opportunity as well. Yeah. You guys are blowing up the comments. Estime is a boy. That's how quick. Estime is bringing me the Eddie Lacy overweight fives laugh. No, that's just the opposite, Rodney. I'll say that Audric Estime, when I saw him in training camp, I thought he looked better than he ever had. And actually, if you go out there, I forget which platform he's on the socials, but he was putting out some social media stuff. Guy's ripped. He's cut. He's ready to go. So I was expecting a lot from Audric Estime. Kenny, I don't know. We could continue this stream of names of running backs. The running backs are going to be a big question. That's what I'm seeing in a lot of this. A lot of talk all of a sudden about these running backs. And I know I brought up the running backs and who needs to step up, but I think there is a lot of questions. We didn't see RJ Harvey just be flat out legit. We didn't see a whole lot of J.K. Dobbins. We saw a little bit of everybody else, and we're waiting. We're waiting a little bit. We want to see all the pieces, the components, and the parts come together for this Denver Broncos team. The tight ends that you were talking about, the running back room, that's offensive line that we were talking about a little bit earlier. Bo Nix having a good day. This defense, yeah, Dre Greenlaw comes in, it'll come into round. Riley Moss maybe looking a little bit better. I don't want to see Jaquan McMillan getting burned on a 50-yard pass play anymore. There's things that we can tighten up, but I think we truly have a finger and a pulse on what the defense should be. The offense still has questions, and that's where I'm looking the most. That's kind of just my thoughts on as we will be heading off and really diving deep into this Arizona game on Friday. But we're probably going to be rolling out of here pretty soon unless anybody has anything burning.
Yeah. Anybody wants to throw anything out there real quick? Rodney's saying Reed, inside linebacker Reed looked awesome with Josie Jules number 47.
Yeah.
But it was just mentioned from Michael that important to point out. Let's talk about the linebackers real quick, Keith, and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Singleton and Greenlaw didn't play, according to Michael. Again, I forgot about Singleton not playing, along with Brandon Jones. Justin Stranad, I saw him have a nice play early in the game, a 3-yard loss on a run early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Reed, like Garcia, like Rodney just mentioned, and I'm forgetting the third guy, the linebacker that I want to
Lavelle Bailey.
Lavelle Bailey, yes. So 3 guys stepped up, so that's good. They'll be fighting for those backup linebacker spots. And that's what you want. You want to see competition from your backups. You definitely want to see that because that means, you got depth at a position if you're competing there. So I like seeing Stranad play well, like Rodney just said, and I like seeing Lavelle Bailey show up and, all 3 of them, Reed as well. So very good showing from those 3 backup linebackers.
I like Dan loving the Jaquan McMillan too, man. Always like it. It's easy to like the Bo Nix. It's easy to like the Cortland Sutton, the PS2. It's like a Kenny. He's going to be rocking probably a Jeremy Crawshaw jersey if things work out for Jeremy Crawshaw.
No, just everybody spread Michael Ronquillo. I'm going to get one from Michael too. Me and him are going to rock the blue and white Crawshaws. We're going to have each one. Me and him.
There you go. Kenny, it's going to be an interesting season. It's just getting started. Preseason, we're being picky. We're throwing up worry meters. We're digging on this team, and you know why? Because we love the team, and we know, and we have expectations for this team. Sean Payton has expectations. He's talking about potentially Super Bowl. This team being a Super Bowl team. He says, "I've only had like 6. This could be the 7th that I thought was capable of going and getting a Super Bowl." He's putting expectations out there, but he's also thinking they went out there and they played average to below average last Saturday. It's time to tick it up. This is the time. It's okay if we're critical because we know what they're capable of, what we want to see.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it any better. And let's hope that this, we're in the preseason, so let's hope there's no worry meter shows during the regular season. So if we're going to have a worry meter show, let's have it now. And I think the audience and Posse, agrees and loved it tonight. But let's make sure we don't have one of these in like week 4 or week 5 of the season. So let's hope that's with the Chiefs podcast. Let's we want to see Chiefs podcast have the worry meters this year. Week 4, week 5.
I'll package up the worry meter in an email and send it to the Chiefs. I got it. Perfect. Thank you, Kenny.
Let's go. But
JC, final thoughts, buddy.
Just quick hello to JC who just tuned in a little late, saying, "Sup, gentlemen? Hope you guys are having a great night." JC, you came in at the end, but we had a fun show, so hopefully you can go back and listen. Some worry meters, some players who need to step up. We're being a little critical. It's preseason, but that's what makes these podcasts fun. And I think the Posse enjoyed it tonight. So thanks, JC, for coming in, even though it was at the end. Hey, Graham, Crum was the nicest guy at camp, well aside from Mr. Brugman over there, Bridgeman, he's calling you.
Yeah, I accidentally put in the Bridgeman, which, funny enough, if you go and you look at the break down the name, I am the Bridgeman, actually. That being said, we're going to bridge on out of here, Kenny. It was a fantastic show. Lots of comments, lots of viewers. I never, ever remember to do this during, so please listen and just like, share, subscribe. Make sure you tell all your friends. I've been sending out invites. If you have a friend that would be interested in this show, if you have a family member, Even if you don't, send this out to everybody on your list. You never know who might be out there. It might be a closet Bronco fan. We'll get them in here. We'll all mix it up. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful show. Our star givers, Michael Ronquillo, Phil McLaughlin. I saw those right off the top. Thank you all so very much. Help us keep this going. Help us fund this as we continue on. We appreciate that an absolute ton. Y'all, you're absolutely amazing. The posse, all the guys and gals out there that come in there, all your support, your love, your stars. I see it, the orange and blues. I appreciate y'all. You guys are fantastic. But we get out of here, and we're going to get out of here one way only. Make sure you keep your boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and, of course, Denver Broncos in your heart. Until next time, everybody, which should be Friday, we'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks, everybody.